In today's business world, change is the only constant, and mastering transformation is the ultimate key to success. Welcome to Shift and Thrive. I'm your host, Natalie Nathanson. Each week, we'll bring you conversations with CEOs who delve into how they successfully drove critical change in their organization. This show is sponsored by Magnitude Consulting, bringing you the thinking power of a growth consultancy and the getting it done power of a full-service B2B marketing agency. I am very excited to speak with today's guest, as I know he's going to bring some bold views and unique perspectives. He has decades of experience in cybersecurity as well as in sales leadership, and he's an expert negotiator, presenter, and storyteller. He's currently making waves leading a company in the endpoint and network security space, and he's taken some creative and successful approaches to showcasing the immense capabilities of their solutions, which I know I want to get into with him later. He is the CEO of Cyber 2.0. Please welcome Sneer Rozenfeld to the show.
Hello, thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. It's great to have you. And Sneer, I want to jump right in here and start with my first question for you. Really want to find out from you, what do you think is the biggest misconception out there about driving major change in an organization?
Well, usually people like to go to normal, they like the routine. They like to think very differently, very the same way, and they keep doing the same things. As a CEO of the company, I'm embracing what Albert Einstein used to say. Albert Einstein used to say, if you keep doing the same things, you will always get the same results. Now, these are the misconceptions because everyone eventually are doing the same things. And this is what drives people eventually to reach the same results, and they don't understand why they are stuck in the same way all the time. For example, all the cybersecurity companies are trying to protect a single computer from getting penetrated by a malicious software. Everybody thinks they can protect it, and everyone's doing the same thing. They're only trying to protect that first computer from getting infected. But when we look at it in a different way. When we started the company, we looked at it a different way. We understand that a single computer will always be infected. You cannot control the human factor. People are working from all over the globe. You have people working after COVID-19, especially they're working from home, working from restaurants, working from coffee shops, working from whatever. So let's think differently. Let's understand the misconception here. You cannot control a single computer. You cannot protect it because a single computer, people will make mistakes. People will open emails they're not supposed to open, go to websites they're not supposed to, insert discom keys or dongles that they shouldn't be using, and eventually a single computer will be penetrated. And this is what got us thinking at the beginning when we started the company. The main damage of a cyber attack is not a single computer getting penetrated. The main damage of a cyber attack is once the malicious software starts spreading through the network, infecting other computers and other servers. So why should I waste all my energy protecting a single computer? And this is where we started the company. We want to block the spread of cyber attack. We want a single computer might be infected, but we will stop that single computer from infecting other computers and other servers. Analysis, for example, COVID-19. A single person who has the disease is not interesting. But when it starts infecting everyone, then you have a pandemic, and this is the real damage. So again, you think you're trying to protect a single computer, and this is the misconception. Don't think about protecting a single computer. Think about protecting the network. Don't think about the damage of a single computer, because a single computer, it's not so horrible if it's infected, but you need to stop it from infecting everyone. And this is the misconception. And we've been doing it all over the technology, we've been doing it all over the marketing, and this is how we address problems. When we see something, we need to think, wait a minute, how can we do it differently? What can we do to make it differently, to find a better solution? And I have many more, a lot of examples about it. For example, EDR. EDR, by definition, everybody uses EDR solutions, right? This is the most commonly used cyber defense system today. There are many companies, great companies doing it, but EDR by definition means endpoint, detect, and response, EDR. Now, that's a problem because basically you're saying that detect and response, meaning, first of all, and for the utmost, you completely relied on detection. You are trying to detect a malicious software before you're even trying to prevent it. Now, this is a misconception because somehow, the detection will fail. And if you're unable to detect a malicious software, you're not even trying to prevent it.
So let me ask you a question, because I think I completely agree with you. And I think it's easy to say, you need to think differently. Can you talk a little bit about how you do that? Do you have a process that you follow, but on your own with your team? And how do you drive that?
Well, when we do, first of all, there's no solo. In my company, everyone's carrying their weight, and it's always a team effort. I sit with the people and we throw a problem, and then we start negotiating different solutions or different ways of thinking to address that solution. For example, in the detect and response issue, we told everyone, and then somebody said, okay, let's do the detection better, right? Let's do a normal detection. Let's do behavior analysis. Everyone's throwing away. And then somebody said, no. Let's do it the other way around, because let's realize that we will fail the detection. Someday, somehow, we will fail. So let's do it the other way. If we cannot detect, if we fail the detection, then we block it. Now, then everybody starts thinking, wait a minute, how does it work? Oh, wow. And this is the thing, because when you drive a change, when you need to, you have to harness everyone in the team with you, and you have to listen to their ideas. Everybody wants to get themselves heard. They want to get their opinion heard, even if it's not accepted. At least they had the opportunity to express themselves in the company, in the solution. When we give a new dashboard, we give it to the people. What do you think? Do you like the colors? Do you like the design? And we're asking the people all the time, because a company is good as all of its employees. I always tell my employees, all the success belongs to the employees. All the failure belongs to the CEO. I'm always telling that to my employees, because when they succeed, the company succeeds. You cannot have a successful CEO and an unsuccessful team. I must drive my people to success. And this is the main idea we are doing, and we're doing it in various ways. For example, to any conference we are holding, I'm bringing all the team, the developers, the QA, the professional services, not just the sales. People have to sit in the conference with us. They have to sit in the conference. I want them to hear what customers are saying. I want them to see the Cyber 2.0 booth, and when people come, and how the salesperson are negotiating with them, and what they say back, and how they look at the product. You have to see the things from the customer's eyes, and not just from sales. Everybody, because the technicians and the software writers and the UI and the UX designers, they have to hear the customers. You usually work with computers all day long, and they don't know how the company is being addressed, or how customers feel about us. So we have to bring them to that. And I'm making a lot of things differently to make them part of the journey, to give them a good experience. One of the things that I did in the past was we did a Parents' Day. Now think about it. When we were children, we had a Parents' Day, and people come and they get the grades, and everybody tells them how wonderful their children is, right? And that's amazing. But think about, you bring all your employees and you bring the parents, and now you start telling their parents what their children, and their children are already grown up. Some of them already have kids, but you tell them they're doing a great job. This company succeeds because of your son, daughter, and I give them company's presentation, and I give each employee the slide he deserves. These guys in the QA, they did the checks, and after they finish it, we did it. And this is Omer from the professional services. And Omer did a great installment in, I don't know, in the water of Texas, and it got us great success. You must harness your employees to the success, and you must make success experience for the employees. Employees can go with lesser salaries. They can go with a lot of things, but the things that they most require is fulfillment, excitement. They need to be a part of the success, And this is what we are trying to bring over to our employees.
I love that. I love that example of the Parents' Day. I think other people listening to this may borrow that idea from you. I'm curious, what kind of feedback have you gotten from your team on that?
Well, when we did that, first of all, everybody thought I was weird.
I could see that. It's different.
Everybody
For
thought,
sure.
what does he want? What is this guy? But the second and third reaction, after they start thinking about it, then they said, wow, maybe it's interesting. I get my parents come to the work and I have quality time with my parents. And you give them dinner and you make a very interesting occasion. And then the parents are very excited and the parents are proud of their children. And eventually the employees are, wow, thank you. Thank you for doing that. And then we even got some of the parents that have companies interested in buying the solution for their company. So it was even a win-win situation for everyone. And it was very, very interesting.
Yeah, that's great. I think it supports the notion of, right, everyone is in sales, everyone has a role, and kind of putting those tentacles out into the broader network.
Yes, this is the main idea. Putting each employee and his importance, and each one of my employees is important. You have 10 fingers, one missing, it's not full, it's not the same. And this is the main idea. They are not the same, the fingers, each finger is different, but each finger is very, very important. And this is the way we address our employees.
Yeah, that's great. I want to go back to what you were talking about with the conferences, and I love that you have such a strong customer focus, because I do think it can be easy to get lost in the different roles of an organization, remembering it's all about the customer. I'm curious if you have any examples of the kind of impact this has made with any of the folks that wouldn't normally come to a conference.
Well, this is a very interesting question because when we go to conferences, then we build it. It's like a production, and we do rehearsals, and I bring everybody. And everybody from the company needs to know how to explain and how to pitch Cyber 2.0. Meaning, if I wake up an employee at 3 a.m. at night and I'm telling him what the Cyber 2.0 does, he's supposed to give me the pitch and explain exactly how the system operates. This is very, very important for us and crucial because everybody must understand the product, the values, the advantages, because you don't know when somebody will speak with you or something like that, and they love it. I give them sales even. I'm telling them, okay, here's I'm planning to do at the end of the year, I'll do it again, a sales bonus for my employees. You need to get me leads. And if that lead will close, you will get a bonus. Now, you don't have to sell. You can bring your aunt or your uncle or your nephew or your friend or your neighbor. But the main idea is I want my employees to speak about us. I want to use their social media to post about our company. Because, you might find one of your employees has 9,000 followers on TikTok because in his free time he's a gamer. So you don't, and this is the main idea. I want to use them as the public to make them public, to make them publish the company and be one with the company. And this is free publicity, and this is the best publicity because there's people that being honest, they're happy about their jobs. And you cannot get that. You can do a lot of campaigns and everything, but eventually an employee that posts all his private LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, Facebook, whatever he does, when he publishes a post about the company he works in, that's amazing. Now, you don't get that so much. You get the CEO maybe publishing, get the VP sales maybe publishing, but you don't get the technicians or the software writers or the QA analysts. You don't get them publishing posts about their company.
Yeah, it's an area that we frankly talk to customers all the time because we see lots of missed opportunity when it's only sales, marketing, and the executives doing the posting to social media, and you are missing the rest of that ecosystem. I'm curious, what do you do to keep it alive? Like, what is inherently just in your culture that people are doing it versus you mentioned kind of a sales bonus? Are there other things you do to remind people and kind of keep that top of mind?
No. I'm usually, there are a couple of secrets of the trade that I'm using. For example, I really much embrace giving back to the community. And in Cyber 2.0, each year we are assisting the community. We are supporting children 16, 17, 18-year-old, 12 graders, 11 graders, and we come to the school and we give them lectures. Each one of my employees in his own topic, but the main idea is we share the data with them. Now, this is the main interesting thing about it, because when I do a new pitch, when I go to and I need to give a webinar, and I need to give something new, and I need to give a pitch, and I don't know if the pitch will work or it will not work. I mean, yes, I have my experience and everything, but you want to know if your pitch is good or not good. The best way to test a pitch is to go to a class with 30, 16-year-old kids and give them the pitch. Now, if you're able to send a message and you keep the kids, the children, the teenagers, the 16-year-old occupied, not going to the phones, not speaking with each other, but listening to you, then you know you got the pitch done. And this is giving to the community, and this is what I get back from the community when I give it to them, because I get a lot of new ideas, a lot of brainstorming, a lot of things with the kids. We have a workshop called Building the Next Startup and Innovation, and we do it with kids in various organizations in Israel. And it's amazing. First of all, it gives you a lot for the soul. Working with kids is always great, and it gives you a lot when you contribute. And these are the next customers. The world is moving so fast. These are the next guys. These are the leaders of TikTok, YouTube. These are the leaders that do everything today. They publish all day long, and they do a lot of things, and they embrace all new technologies, which we don't usually hesitate to embrace so much new technology. And they do everything, and they're naive, and they will not lie to you. If you think, they will tell you you're not interested, and then you have to do it all over again.
I love that. It feels very genuine, and I think that's a great litmus test of being able to hold an audience and making sure that it is truly engaging and not kind of too full of the buzzword bingo, as we sometimes refer to it in sales pitches. So Sneer, I'd love to shift gears a little bit and ask you if there's an example, like what is the biggest or most standout change that you've driven in an organization? Is there anything that jumps out?
Well, I can think about something very interesting that I did in the marketing. When I joined Cyber 2.0, we wanted to go to the market. We wanted to explore to the market. Now, we started thinking about what to do in the marketing side, how to address customers. And then we started looking what everyone's doing. Now, everyone's doing the same things. We already spoke about it. If you keep doing the same things, you will always get the same results. Now, what does other cyber company does? Well, they do a one-pager. They do case studies. They do webinars. And they even shot a video of a customer very happy, recommending, I'm using that and that product. It saved my life. Use it. Yeah, all right. And they do a lot of interesting things. And then I understand that I don't have a budget. I mean, we were a young company. I have no budget for marketing, and still I want to do. I need the marketing. I need my brand to stand out. And then I started looking at the customers, and I said, okay. How does a customer know how to decide which cyber solution is the better one? They might use Gartner and Forrester analysts. They might use commonly known, or who's top on YouTube or Google Ads. But they can also do a penetration test. The best way for a customer to authenticate his cyber solution is to do a penetration test. You invite white hat hackers and you tell them, test my system and tell me if it's okay or not okay. But the penetration test, again, when you pay money for it, you will get 1, 2, 5 people attacking you at the same time for a given amount of time, which you pay them, and that's it. This is the way for these are the ways for customers to decide which cyber solution is the better one. So I said, how can I do it differently? And then it popped. Instead of going to the customers and telling them we have the best cyber solution, we went to the hackers. We went to the hackers and we told them we have the best cyber solution in town. And not just that, now let's play on your vanity. we will give you $100,000 if you're able to penetrate a network that is protected by our system. We did 4 great hacking challenges. Basically, we invited all the hackers to come and try and penetrate a network that is protected by our system. And if anyone would succeed, they will receive a reward of $100,000. Now, nobody says that. Nobody did that at the cyber world. Nobody is putting their system to the public test. Now, this was the huge marketing move we made because suddenly I got interviewed by CBS and I got NBC. And suddenly all the papers are writing about this unknown company that challenges all the hackers for $100,000. And when we speak about penetration tests, we spoke about 1 guy, 2 guys, 5 guys. I got 5,000 hackers trying to penetrate the network, and everything goes. Now, this was a huge change of the company. This was a huge change for the brand. It was scary as hell, by the way. It was very scary. A hacking challenge, you get a lot of people coming into a big room and everybody sit with their laptops and everybody's there. And then there is complete silence. And all you can hear is and so many people and quiet and that's it. But this was amazing. This was amazing. And after we did the first one, then we started doing the second, the third, and now we're planning the next one because it became our gimmick. And by the way, no company was willing to mimic or to do the same thing we did. Now think about it. You get a public penetration test. You don't pay for it. You get a lot of media. You get a lot of news coming and everybody speaking about it. You get a lot of hackers. And you get everything. And when they register, you can also have them as personnel. Maybe we will recruit some of them. And this is amazing. And they write in their own blogs, and then they're starting to write about us in various blogs, and then we pop out. And this was the most, I think, amazing thing I did in my career by doing the hacking challenge. I'm sure I will be doing things much more different in the future, but it's still under thinking.
Yeah, I love that example. It is so unique and so impactful. And I think CEOs, especially in cybersecurity and other kind of highly competitive tech sectors, are always looking for different things to do. So I want to dive in a little bit more because into a few areas that you mentioned here. First, you mentioned it was a bit scary, right? Especially running it the first time. What was that like for you? Like, how did you push through? How did you decide to move ahead anyways?
When you're a startup company, you don't get a lot of life. You get some budget from the chief scientist. You get some angels or VCs giving you some money, and you have to run very fast to prove that the startup, the idea you're developing, has a right to live. It can operate. It can do whatever it wants to. Now, it's a cruel world in startup area. It's a cruel world. There are programs about it. I see the sharks all the time, and somebody comes and then they take the idea and everything. And we started thinking about ways to market. And I understand that I have no other option. If I want to stand out, you need to do some courage because eventually the most terrifying moment, and I was completely trusting my CTO. I mean, think about what happened if the hackers challenge would have been hacked. The question goes, all right, you did a hacking challenge, you got hacked. What do you want? But history teaches us that people who makes changes, who has the courage to step forward and did something that nobody else did, these are the guys that really changed everything. So you have to do it. You have to take it. If you want to make a change, if you want to make something robust, if you want to make something unique, you must take it to the next level, take the courage pill, and move forward.
I think that's great advice. Thank you for sharing that. Another area I wanted to ask about related to this challenge is how did you get the attention of the media? Those are some big publications for a startup that didn't previously have those relationships. How did you get the word out?
Social media, hacker blogs. That's it. We didn't, as I said, we didn't have a big budget for marketing. And the budget went to the, setting up the stage, getting a place where we can do it. This is where the budget went. But when we started addressing social media and doing that and going to the hacker blogs and posting there, a new company is challenging all hackers, everybody came because, it's like, who is the toughest guy? Come on, let's see who's the biggest hacker. And this was amazing. Now, we didn't know what to anticipate. Again, it's a lot of trying and getting it wrong and moving to the next side. Yoda from Star Wars used to say, failure is the greatest teacher of them all, right? So you try. If you fail, then you learn from it and you continue forward. But it was basically on a social media scales, and we started addressing and emailing various people, come see what we are doing, come see what we're doing. And even the networks got very interested. What is that? No, we didn't heard about it in the cyber world until now.
Yeah, that's great. Is there anything that you did after the hacking challenge to get that message and get that example in front of your target market, making sure the right people saw it?
Well, one of the great people that we have was Professor Bryson Ronald Payne from University of North Georgia. He came to our challenge, and in the challenge, he said he was very interested when he heard about the challenge, and he said, in the event, I want to show how I hacked a Tesla vehicle, and then I'm going to hack you guys. And I said, wow, that's interesting. Let's do that. And it started accumulating and started rising up. And eventually, when he failed, he gave us a huge letter saying it was like shooting arrows at a fortified wall. I never seen anything like that. And we got him on our advisory board, Professor Bryson. So it was very amazing because we keep doing it. And then we got, as we like to give to the community. So it was a great opportunity for us to give back to the University of North Georgia and giving cyber lessons to the students and speaking with them about innovation and about if you keep doing the same things, you will always get the same results. And this was very interesting. A lot of articles were written about the hacking challenges. And it's always interesting about the methods of attack, about various hacker thinking, about, for example, the challenge in Israel and challenge in the US are two different challenges. I don't want to speak about it at the moment, but there are two challenges because the audience, the hackers react differently. The American hackers and the Israeli hackers don't think alike. They don't attack the same way. And this was very amazing, very, very interesting.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing that. I want to take a step back, and as we're talking about, driving change, thinking about the roles of the different departments in an organization, and you've talked about everyone having a role in sales. Can you talk about what you see of the role in marketing in the organization?
Marketing is everything. You can have a medium product, but if you have great marketing, it will be sales. You can have the best product in the world, but if you don't have good marketing, nobody will buy it. Everything goes on the marketing. And when we understand that everything is marketing, at least from my side, it's the way I see it. Everyone in my team has to know and have to market. So you have to use everyone and to explain to them the importance of marketing. Now, people are evolving to that. People are waking up to that. In the last 20 years, we went through a digital transformation, and YouTube got it very, very interesting because suddenly we had new celebrities, right? Until now, until YouTube, everyone who were on TV, they were the superstar, they were the celebrities. And suddenly you have people becoming celebrities because they post on YouTube and they post on Facebook. And this was very interesting because everybody can be a star. Everybody can be a celebrity. And everybody has their own blogs and everybody's posting their opinions and everybody wants to be heard. So you must use everything to market properly. We spoke about it earlier on, but the main idea is very simple. I need each of my employees to market us as well. So I'll do it in the sales, of course, I give them, but then I give them also, make your own presentation. And they can do it, about Barbie and protecting Barbie through cyber. And they can do it. We like to speak about biology and mathematics. We like to speak about COVID-19 because it's very much similar to cyber attacks and how those worlds operate. But the main idea is I want you guys to be heard. Speak your own language, but speak about what we are doing. Express yourself. And I think this is very, very interesting because I'm a storyteller. My degree, I learned literature. I learned global literature at the Bar-Ilan University. And it was very, very interesting because when you understand that everybody wants to hear a good story, then you have to ask every one of your employees to tell the story, but from their own perspective. For example, what made you come to Cyber 2.0? What do you think that makes the company different? And this is what I'm asking them to write, to post. And this is very, very interesting.
Yeah, I think storytelling is so important. And I think of, in my own company, how much people appreciate hearing my origin story of why I started the company, what led me there, different employees, why did they join, what drew them to the company. And I think you're right that those stories really help foster that human to human connection and telling the company message, but in a way that's personalized to each individual person.
You are correct. And this is, first of all, this is the way we are working also with customers. For example, I have no phone. Customers, when they need something, they don't have a phone to call. They have their own technological manager that manages them, but they have a WhatsApp group and they connect through WhatsApp. They have a WhatsApp group and they connect directly to the people. Connection with people should be done personally, directly. Don't send a mail to info, strudel, whatever, info at whatever. Send a mail to the guy. The guy will answer you. And this is one of the things that I keep doing, and I keep all the time. These are my people, they will answer you. And in each WhatsApp group, every customer has their own WhatsApp group and they speak with my people. And if somebody's on vacation or is not feeling well, the other team members see it and they will answer it to him as well. Connection must be always direct and everybody must be involved. They must know. This is how they also can learn. Because if Danny had something with this customer and it was all written in the group in the WhatsApp, now he understands. You see the communication, see what happened, and he learns from that.
I think you have lots of great ideas. I love the examples that you're sharing about this customer focus and promoting the company and thinking outside the box. I want to hear a little bit more about you now and the man behind these ideas. You just mentioned you have a degree in global literature, which is pretty different, I would say, than bit of leading a cybersecurity company. So tell me a bit about your background. How did you get to where you are today, and did you always know you wanted to be a technology executive someday?
I am Sneer Rozenfeld, 48 years old, father of 4, happily married for 22 years. This is what defines me, first of all, my family, my kids and my wife, and these are my success. I never knew I wanted to be a CEO. I never knew I wanted to do technology. I used to work, when I learned literature, I always thought I would be a literature teacher. I will go to education. I will be a teacher, or I'll write books. And I even published one book, a fantasy book, something like similar to Harry Potter. I wrote and published it, and it's also in English, and it's very interesting. And I never knew I'm going to reach where I'm going to reach. I'm just, sometimes life throws things at you, and you roll with it. And this was very interesting. Here's a story. When I was very young, I used to work as a flight attendant. It was back in the 90s, and I was working as a flight attendant for one of the airlines. It was when the cellular phones were at the beginning, and I was very, very, I was very in love with myself and in love with the job. Being a flight attendant is so unique and it has so much prestige, right? And I'm calling my mom, "Hey, mom, I'm in Paris. Do you want something? Hey, mom, I'm in London. Do you want something?" And I'm speaking with everyone. And eventually I got the bill. Now, back in the 90s, calling the cellular phone from abroad was a fortune. And and I got a mess. I was owing the cellular company something like, $15,000 for phone calls I made throughout being a flight attendant and going over the world. And I didn't make $15,000. I didn't know how $15,000 even looked like. And then they took me to court. And then I had to find something. And the judge told me, if you eat in a restaurant and you cannot pay, you know what you do, right? And I told him, I didn't understand what it was. And I said, no, I don't. And he said, you do the dishes. And this was like what life was throwing me. The judge made the cellular company hire me. I had to do the dishes to pay the $15,000. And then I was evolving in there, and I got that opportunity. I didn't expect for it, and it just happened, and I was rolling with it. And eventually I had a great success and great time working at the cellular company. It was amazing. So again, you don't know where you're going to roll, but you have to roll with it and do the best you can. There's always something I say, don't be another one, be the one. All right. When you look at the great ones, the great basketball players, the great karate, the great actors, they are the one. But what makes somebody be the one? What makes one be a master? What makes someone be LeBron James? What makes somebody be, I don't know. And there's this basic things that he's doing because it's a mindset. I'm going to be, no matter where I'm going to be the best I can wherever I'll be. And I don't know where I'm going to roll. Nobody knows where he's going to roll. One day you're on top, one day you're below. It's a turning wheel. But if you decide and put your mindset that wherever you'll be, you'll do the best thing you can. Don't be another one, be the one. Don't be another one of the team says, okay, yeah, okay. Be the one who drives the change. Be the one who pushes, who do it differently. And this will make things, first of all, more interesting for you, well, at least for me as a person. And this is the main thing I can give you. Don't be another one, be the one.
Love that. And I think that's such a great story about how you got into kind of cellular technology and then started your career in, it sounds like, sales and technology. I would say hats off to the judge for bringing that concept to life, because I think we do all joke about, right, you'll end up washing dishes if you can't pay the bill. And it's very cool that it brought you to brought to your you to your career.
Yeah, doing the dishes brought me to my career. Yeah.
Yep. That's great. I'm curious, Sneer, what advice, knowing everything you know now, what advice would you give your younger self in your first ever leadership role?
Sometimes you have to change. And one of the things that when I was young and when you're getting married and you start having kids, you like the routine and you like to feel comfortable. I'm getting in the morning, I'm going to job, and I was asleep for a long time. I was dormant. It was very comfortable for me to be where I was. I wasn't the best in the companies I was as an employee. I wasn't the best. I was good. I was one of the guys, but I wasn't the best. And one day something just popped, something just changed. I mean, if you keep doing the same things, you will always get the same results. I was doing the same things so much time. And then I understood that I needed to do a change. Now think about it. After 14 years, you leave a company and then you spread your wings, and nobody believed it, what, you're moving. And I was, but only when I left, only when I started doing the change, I understand how much far I can reach. And nobody believed it. It was kind of hectic with what I was saying and what people are doing, but it was amazing. So I would give my younger self the advice, keep doing the same things. You will always get the same results. Get up, wake up, go around. You can move mountains. You can do whatever you want to. Go change the world. Go do something different. Go have the passion. If you don't wake up in the morning and you're passionate about your job, you're only passionate about is going back from job. So you're not doing the right thing, not for yourself and not for your family.
I think that is really great advice, and that's a perfect place to wrap up our discussion. So thank you for articulating that in such an articulate and inspiring way. And before we wrap up today's conversation, can you let our listeners know where they can reach you?
Well, of course, I spoke about it. So you obviously will see me all over the media. You got me on X, you got me on Facebook, you got me on Instagram, you got me on TikTok, you got me on YouTube. You can find me in whatever network you want to. And if you need anything, feel free to get in touch with me. I'll be happy to discuss, help, or even sell you some products.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, thank you, Sneer. This has been a really great conversation.
Thank you very much for having me. I was very excited to be here, and Thank you so much. You got me thinking and you got me going back, and thank you about it.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Great discussion. And thank you to everybody that's listening. I know I really loved hearing about so much of what Sneer shared about how he thinks outside the box and really breaks through the noise, how he fosters a culture where everyone really has a role in supporting sales growth and telling the company's story. And I can say from my personal experience, it feels so genuine and so impactful, the kinds of things that he's doing with his team. So if today's episode gave you, our listeners, any valuable insights and ideas, and I'm sure that it did, please share this episode with someone. Spreading this kind of knowledge and information helps all of us grow as leaders and equips us to drive successful innovation and transformation in our organizations. So thanks again, Sneer, and this has been another great episode of Shift and Thrive. See you all next time. That's a wrap for this week's episode. For show notes and more, visit shiftandthrivepodcast.com. A special thank you to our sponsor, Magnitude Consulting, bringing you the thinking power of a growth consultancy and the getting it done power of a full-service marketing agency to help B2B companies fuel their growth. For more information on Magnitude and to get your complimentary transformation readiness assessment, visit magnitudeconsulting.com/getready. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week.